Just in time for the music to stop. I didn't do that on purpose, I promise. Okay. That was fun. I felt so professional. You know? Streamer, I leave now, bye. What? Shalom, Squid. Yeah, hi. Where's my burger? I was promised a burger. Well, I wasn't. But if you say maybe, then, you know, I'm gonna make assumptions. Why won't Riot start? We are... Well, I'm doing unmedicated Valorant right now. My meds have not kicked in yet. I basically just woke up. I see you changed your name. Yeah, I did that a while ago to match my YouTube and TikTok ads. 20 stream streak and you say kill yourself. You said maybe. You said maybe you would get a burger. Got to watch out not to dead name you. No, you can call me Squiddo. It's fine. Also, it's not the same. I don't think that's the same thing as dead naming. It's still my name on Discord. There's a woman who plays Minecraft who is called Squiddo, and she has millions of subscribers. So there is absolutely no point in being called Squiddo online. Yeah, why are you downloading 988 Oh my god. Okay. Burger? Burger. Why won't Riot? Riot won't start. Oh yeah, where did my keyboard go? My keyboard that got wet, and I had to like, here it is. Had to dry it off. But it worked. Because this one has all the keys in the wrong place. So instead of QWERTY URP, it's AQVGYURHSB on the top row, which I'm pretty sure that's wrong. What's the burger drama? He said he maybe would get me a burger and then just hasn't. So, like, he fucking hates me. Whoops. Wild of betrayal. Hi, nature boy. What the fuck? What? I dropped pills all over the floor. Fuck! Ricky boring! Competitive. Why? 3 minutes! What did I do? I didn't AFK, I literally had to take a shit. Am I not allowed to? Oh my god. Valorant players are so fucking unreasonable. Like, you are not allowed to take a shit mid-game. They would rather you actually shit your pants than you fucking get AFK kicked. Like, a bunch of fucking babies. That's just dumb. Like, why can't you just pause? This is why Deadlock is the best game at the moment. You have to be a bathroom speedrunner. Oh, fuck that. I've got no keyboard overlay. I don't know how to fix that. Maybe if I... Does that fix it? No, I don't have a keyboard overlay. That's sad. Oh well. I should have started it before I started OBS. So, I can't have it now. So you don't have your shit station next to you when you play. What the fuck does that mean? You knew a guy that played Dota 2 and he goes to the bathroom in like 20 seconds. What, does he shit like a rabbit or something? That guy was shitting in a diaper, unfortunately to say. That's disgusting. Ew, no. Pumpkin tried to get a job at a flower shop. And there was like, it was like a kiosk. There was no toilet in there. And she asked the lady, how do we go to the toilet? And she said, oh, well, if there's nobody in the store at the time, and they don't want to go to the nearby apartment building, there's a bucket that I use. Fucking crazy. I would not be getting my ass bare in a fucking Russian winter to use a bucket, and I wouldn't want to use a fucking bucket anyway. Oh yes, lovely flowers from the flower shop where people shit in buckets. Beautiful.
Match found.
I want to see if my new alerts work. No, she didn't do it. She didn't like. She didn't want the job after that, for obvious reasons. Oh no, I'm in Spanish servers. Soviet ass shop, yeah, for real. Okay, so I get to play Neon, that's fine. So she has bioelectric, so she's basically an electric eel, isn't she? Maybe they're having sex. I really want that. The banner. I want the I want the banner. You know, because it's funny that they're just fucking.
Okay, mia familia. Leave the fireworks too. Should be plenty loud for you to have some fun.
I win. I got. Ow! We suck. We fucking suck.
Last player standing. Spike planted.
This is dreadful. Saving classic. Oh shit.
I'll find you. First one.
Oh shit. Nice try. I guess.
That Reyna is not as fearless as she appears.
Okay. I can do this. I can win. Hi.
For you.
Fucking everyone left after that gameplay. Shut the fuck up! My meds didn't kick in yet.
Spike planted.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Where are you? Get ready. I go fast.
Boy MVP con 1 kill. It's cheating. Jet cheating. GG. Report. Oh, nice.
Refreshing.
Refreshing.
No peeking.
Bubbles. She's got fish in her gun. That's so amazing. Just channel your inner ice agent. But I love Mexicans.
Grenade. Praise. You do not fear the chaos you inflict. I'm impressed.
Look, once I finish my coffee, I'll lock in, okay?
Push them back. They're stepping on us.
Training. Why are they stopping me from having fun? Put it back. Put it back.
Spike down A.
Grenade! I'm out of here.
The Jet is sus. Jet is sus. Jet is cheating for real. She has to be. She just knows everything.
Last player standing. Spike
Report Jet.
down B.
We got the same number of kills and I'm not even playing. No. Wait, what the fuck? I killed someone before. But it was only an assist. Well, why am I in this rank? Yeah, they are cheating. They are cheating.
Are you?
Like, I think they're cheating. I'm gonna
No.
say that. No, they are. Trust me.
No,
No. My dad works
just
at Riot.
just holding out.
No, like they're psychic.
Yet holding and you pick. Is it?
No.
Yeah, it is.
No.
Okay, no.
No.
Okay.
Well, put the cat. Put the cat. The fuck is that? I'm dying for some reason.
Go. Out of
They're
charges.
rotating.
What the fuck?
Maybe.
Go. Out of charges. Out of charges.
See, I popped off. I popped off.
One enemy remaining. Spike down B. Everyone is off, Daisy.
Nice.
This party's just begun.
I need armor. Put the cap. El Gato. Fucking bitch! I want to play the fucking game with the cat.
Gotta go. This.
What?
Spike down mid.
He's headshot me. He's fucking cheating! Surely. Oh, wow. Nice shot. Welcome.
Spike planted.
No peeking.
Unlucky.
My ult is for amateurs. Let's go.
It looks like I won't be getting out of iron today. That's sad.
Spike's over. Get out of my way. You had your fun. My turn.
What? He won!
Down A.
Never left.
One enemy remaining.
Find you.
Can we win this? It's just one sage. Oh no. Come on, guys. Come on, guys, we can do this. I should have played
Last
Brimstone.
player standing.
I should have had a burger. Really.
30 seconds left. Clutch.
One downside to being immortal. I can't play dead.
Ah. Let's try the other side. Maybe. I'll go in the middle. What? No, they're cheating.
Drop in a smoke.
They're literally psychic. Where even is she? The jet is fucking omniscient. Some shit. She is iron. I am fucking dirt.
Spike mid.
Spike down. Mid.
For a frigga.
Last player standing.
No me gusta.
30
Fuck
seconds left.
you. I'm sure there is someone cheating in iron. Yeah, that's what I'm sure about as well. Like, there has to be. Like, she's literally clairvoyant! I didn't even hear her, smell her, see her. I didn't even know she was there. I didn't even fucking hear the footsteps. So she just fucking, she just doinked me. Look, 160, one headshot. Look. Yeah, I'm telling everyone.
Wash you up, man. Keep fighting. Rest is overrated.
I don't speak Spanish, so I'm not offended by what you're saying. Haha. I always win.
Quick feet, quick trigger.
Moment someone catches you off guard, you're dead instantly. I wasn't off guard though. Like, see, look at me on guard. Fog! Shit. Ah! Where did my gun go? Okay, I've got it. No me gusta tortuga.
No peeking.
Yeah, what does that mean? I don't like turtles.
Last player standing.
You know what we should do? I'll tell you. We should win.
Confuse the fuck out of them. Good. He's a fucking cheater!
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Shocking! Enemy
Please heal me.
drop in a smoke.
Just because you don't think they look like they're cheating doesn't mean they're not cheating. Because iron players are not supposed to be able to kill me in one fucking bullet.
Spike planted.
I swear everyone knows I am iron. I am literally in iron. Look at my team.
No peeking.
I mean, maybe.
Player standing.
Uh-oh. Well, it's not like I'm not trying to headshot. I just forget to. Uh-oh.
Their teeth will chatter in the cold and dark.
Okay. Let's surrender, I guess. Oh, I didn't get a chance! Your teammates, they're just shit. Oh, don't be toxic. They're trying their best. You know?
Where are they?
Keep your crosshair higher. Lower your sensitivity. It's pretty low. Let me check what it is right now.
Gotta go. Watch out.
Spike planted.
What? No! What DPI?
Where are you?
Let me go through my mouse settings.
Last player standing.
Drop in a smoke.
I like how you shoot your stun for no reason to do nothing. I like how you said maybe about burger and I've been wanting a burger. Necesito
Last round before the
cagar.
We
switch.
cannot keep our good.
Necesito cagar. Have no good deals. Just eat something. Can you go to the store and get some tortillas? We don't have any left. Did you check? It's 400 now. I just changed it from 500 to 400. Incurable la verdad. Why comparte unas manos también?
There.
Bro, don't fucking air me out in stream. Bro.
Take this.
Stop it! Stop it, Sage. I'm busy.
Enemy spotted. Hey.
I did it! That is really low. My mouse is very, it's an Attack Shock R3 tri-mode magnesium mouse. It's very fucking light. So my DPI on this mount has to be insanely low compared to my Logitech G Pro, which is way fucking heavier. It's like almost 4 times the weight. Hashtag ads. Shut the fuck up!
Switching sides.
They did send me a cute little attack shock, plushie though.
Check. Charges? Check. Brakes? Nowhere in sight.
Ouch! Moving. Okay, the movable space I have is this. But you know, there's a lot of stains on it. I really do need to replace it. I haven't played shooter games for a while, so
Drop in a smoke.
it was on VALORANT, which I don't even fucking count.
Where are you? One. Grenade. Take this. Enemy B. Right here. Got one.
One enemy remaining.
I'm out of here.
Last player standing.
Amo alla gente pequeña. Amo alla gente pequeña. Why are you telling me to tell them that they have a small dick?
Have any patterns emerged yet?
Hmm? Kinda expected that. What did you expect? Hello, pumpkin. You falling? I didn't fall, though. That wasn't me. You're dumb. That was another fucking player I was spectating, dumbass.
Heads up! Watch out! Go away! Out of charges! I'm out of here!
Move your fucking ass!
One enemy remaining.
It's I love little people. Why do you make me say that? It goes against everything I stand for.
Reloading. Make their fear your weapon. Or use a gun. Whichever.
Ah, I see. Okay, what's this? Dame tu cosita.
Rotate.
Rotate. I don't know what that means. Fuck. Whoops.
Planted.
Du var in a door.
Woo!
Nice.
Right
One
here.
enemy remaining.
Right here.
Woo!
Yes.
Wow, hacker.
Isn't enough.
Yes, I'm hacker. Oh shit.
Hi, where to?
Tu orina es sudor. How's my pronunciation?
Oh shit.
Apuntas como un vegetal.
Sí. Berbeti.
This is where we win.
Y Sage.
What did you make me do? Cape Pringle.
I'm out of here. Too slow. Gotta go. Go.
That sense changed how the idea is actually. I wonder if I had it higher. If I had it lower before and then I changed it higher at one point. I wonder. Doesn't help that much. Es Rosa? Es Rosa? You win. Yay.
Idea. Again. Their fear is a track, and the track is fresh. Alright, muckers. Off we go.
I don't speak Spanish.
I'll find you.
Ow!
Take hold. Back like I never left. Gotcha, fun.
One enemy remaining.
Should have pushed me out! You fucking whore! Don't push me!
Oh shit.
They're going to scatter from my stuff. Super easy to pick off.
I don't know how to say these things, and I think I'm getting the... Making the Sage a bit angry, I think. She tried to push me off the map.
Spike down mid.
Shit kid or script kitty, pick one.
Marked one. Bring
Ah, I see.
Hi. Bye. My ult's not last player standing. Alright, lucky socks. Don't fail me now.
Does she really have lucky socks? She's so cringe. I don't want the bomb. I'm gonna put it here. I also don't want this. Upload cuando caminas. Ow.
Spike down B.
Shoot it, it's not me. Well, yeah, I forget.
Last player standing.
Why did I hold it down for so long? Ugh. If you look at it long enough, it breaks. Shut up, it's not funny.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, big poggers.
I could have beaten twice the number. They have courage, but no one is immune to fear.
Time to try out a
I
new
will
gun.
hold up the sky.
Raw Pro Gamer in katakana. That's really funny.
Dropping smoke.
It's really fucking cringe. Like, they have to be like 12.
Spike down B.
I was a distraction. I helped. I help.
Enemy remaining.
Is ready. Just a wee flash wound.
I distracted
I'll knock you
them.
off. Charge and shoot. Easy enough. Go, go, go. Dropping smoke. I'll find you. I'm out of here. You had your fun. My turn. Goodbye. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Loading. Out of charges. Out of charges. For you.
The bullet the bullet chasing me. Oh my god. Watch out, Raoul.
You will not kill my ally.
Raoul, cuidado.
Last player standing.
No! Raoul.
¿Por qué coño planta ahí, Sage? Tienes cáncer, hermano.
Match point.
Oh, this reminds me. But actually, never mind.
So funny.
Vamos a rotar ese Sage. No hay prisa.
Say just stupido?
Dropping smoke.
Te amo, Raoul. Te amo.
Find you.
Va adentro, va adentro.
Get the shit out of me. I did not hear her! I did not hear her because fucking Tuco Salamanca was fucking whispering in the mic. That was racist. Okay, fine. Like, why am I not allowed to have an excuse? You just hate me. So cold. Then what do I do in my life?
One enemy remaining.
Bro!
Find the weakest link and kick him in the shin.
Hope improve. Bro thinks he's a fucking coach. Bro. Bro. Es Rosa? That's fucked up. That's so fucking perverted. Why would you make me say that? He's Spanish, and so the answer is no.
Spike down A. Last player standing. Defenders win.
Don't act like you didn't want to know. I mean, I did not want to know. 58! Now that is a pro gamer. I'm gonna add them as a friend, I think. Whoa, you got great performance! Wait, what? What do you mean? Huh? You played well, so you lost less R. Simple as. I see. Okay, let me do a swift play. Just one swift play. I wanna try out Waylay, because I bought her. Or, like, you know. Also, no! I wanted to buy, what's her name? I wanted to buy Raze. I was gonna buy Raze. Yeah, it said +10. Why did I do that? I wanted to try out Waylay, but I got upset because somebody tried to pick Neon. So I insta-locked it. What's wrong with me? I have a brain condition. Can I swap? Pegasus.
Clove, you were up at 3 a.m. watching cooking videos. How are you awake right now?
I'll sleep when I'm dead. Guess as never.
They're so cringe. Like, shut the fuck up. If someone said that to me in real life, I would smash their head against a wall. I want the spike. Don't fucking give it back to me. Thanks. Didn't you fall off this? I've been wondering for a while now. Also, I'm gonna go away from everyone else. Oh my god, we're playing against Putin and Tiramisu. And Sweat. 3 of my biggest weaknesses. There's some people here. I don't think they know where I am. I'm not moving, dude. You didn't have to peek me. Ha ha ha. I'm gonna fuck up. Oh!
Spike down A.
Back up.
One
Oh.
enemy remaining.
Go, go, go.
I have never been that patient in my entire life, I think. Ever. Never been. Oh, is someone here? Hello? Actually, well played to swap and swap back to cancel your reload. That's not why I did it. I did it so she wouldn't hit me. Wait, what? What are you talking about exactly? Clip it. Clip it. If I played well, can you please clip it? I'm gonna make an MLG parody. Iron gameplay, you know? Impulse reloaded after you killed Sova. And then I dashed right. And it reloaded me. Ah, I see. Come with me.
Out of charges.
Started running and then stopped, but it worked out. Yeah, I was just trying to, you know. Whoopsie. No, I didn't mean everyone! Holy sh-
Enemy spotted B.
Oh my god, guys! Oh.
Gotta go. I'm out of here. Out of charges. Bye-bye. My ult's ready.
Okay. Who the fuck bought that gun? It genuinely sucks. Sorry, low genuinely. Oh, also in Megabonk last night, I got the Kevin achievement. It's like, it's an LMG, and I was so close to being able to get the max level weapon as Vlad, but I didn't get the pot on that run. Even though I was alive for way longer than all the other runs I'd had, so I guess I just have to do more fucking runs on Vlad. Who is Kevin? It's an item in Megabonk. It's a pink teddy bear that punches you. This jet is terrible. Don't be fucking rude. I believe. Oh. Unlucky. Nice try. Yay! What the fuck? We did it! I don't know how this game works. I was expecting to lose because we all died.
Savor the good dreams while you can.
You better hide, old man.
I really do want to see,
Enemy spotted B.
ouch.
Gotta go. See ya.
Embarrassing as fuck.
Blocking sight.
I'm embarrassed.
Planted.
I shot something! Oh, big
No
epic.
way, we're the same.
Last round in the half.
We lose everything after this. Spend it. I have extra money if anyone needs.
Échenle ganas.
Go, go, go. Spotted B. Nice try. Gotta go. Out of charges. I'm out of here. Out of charges. Blocking sight.
Sage 120. You need to slide of left click. Yeah, I know. I forgot to.
Prepare for hellfire!
I got a little bit stun locked because I went in and I saw like a bunch of fucking dudes. 3 of them were on the floor. One of them was like, you know, it's like up on a fucking block in the sky. Also, after this game, I'm going to Elden Ring. I promise.
Switching sides.
Hey, Neon. Mosh kinda likes you.
Thanks. Okay. Ah, the revolving doors. What do we do?
Reloading.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Ah!
Spike down B.
Where did they go?
Last player standing.
Oh, that's not good.
I'm out of here.
Mm.
Almost out of charges. Pry open their minds. Find the weakness.
Sorry. Yeah, we can win. Does your name mean 3 mouse and keyboard Mohammed? What does 3MK?
Spike planted.
3 Mega Knights, Mohammed.
Gotta go. Reloading.
Running low. Go, go, go. Out of charges.
No! No! Oh!
Last player standing.
Ah! Unlucky. I keep forgetting to not move while I'm shooting. This game pisses me off. Okay, you guys suck! We all suck! We all suck!
This is our home. Keep them out.
Neil. Guys, let's be toxic. And then maybe we'll do better because we've been positive and now we're losing. Let's all be horrible to each other.
Spike planted.
Arabic.
Get out of my way.
Oh, I see. Omak. Oh, so it's like Kusomak, right? Your mother's pussy. Yeah, I know that. I played Overwatch with Arabic people. And of course, every time another Arabic person was in the game, they were like, I hate Arabic people. Tell them this. Like, literally so many of them. And I'm like, yeah, I already know how to say that. They're so toxic. It's insane. Like, actually. Crazy.
Go, go, go. Out of charges. Let's go.
Wahoo! Ah! Used to be friends with someone who hung around so many Arabic people. I learned so much. I have an Emirati friend, and I used to play Overwatch with a Saudi guy for ages and ages and ages. And like, it's crazy because if you're like from America or England or somewhere in Europe, you kind of just see all of those rich Arabic countries as like the same fucking place. Like, obviously there's differences, but like, you wouldn't know. It's probably the same as how they see everywhere in Europe as the same. So when a Saudi guy is like, oh, this guy's from Qatar, so he's retarded. When they say that, it's just like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. One of this Egyptian guy I knew has his PC thrown into a river. What the fuck? Sometimes I want to do that to Ritz when he wakes me up playing Valorant. I'm not gonna lie. What the f- Don't be rude. I didn't know the agents could be rude. Oh! Oops. That side. Yeah, nice. What the fuck did you just say they are all the same? No, when you're living in Europe, all of the rich, Arabic countries,
Spike down.
you wouldn't really know the difference between them. Honestly, like, I'm not even... I think Mecca is in Saudi Arabia, right? But it might not be, and I wouldn't know. Those places are all just places where whenever I meet someone from there on the internet, they're always saying shit like, oh yeah, I have that car in my second house. Oh yeah, my maid does that for me. And they all say shit like that. Like, they're, you know, it's like a different, like, they're not necessarily that rich. It's just like, when you're not poor in those countries, they have like a full-on, like they kind of have like a working class that are basically just maids and shit. Saudi Arabians are the best at Overwatch now. I feel Izan has always been the best. Bro was like, he was all 10 of top 10 in Europe for ages, as far as I know. He played the game all the time as well.
Sudden death.
I got your backs.
I literally had him in my game in Diamond. He was playing in Diamond on Healer, and I took Baptiste off him. Hahaha.
I'm out of here.
Oops. Oh, you mean in competitive tourneys? I hate Overwatch. I'm never playing it again. I saw they tried to make a near automata skin for like one of the new characters, and I literally like it fucking looks like Elsa. It's so shit that the art style is so ugly. They win everything.
Move.
I see. If there's anyone here who isn't following, please follow because I made a new alert. You have free time when you're rich. Real.
Somebody's there.
Take this. Gotta go.
Longus. Come on.
One enemy remaining. Spike down A.
I'm out of here.
Just one.
Last player standing.
Out of charges.
Sorry.
Attackers win.
No, I can't plug fast enough. Ah! I hate the rich. I'm like Hassan for real. I hate Hassan. Does that mean I'm rich? I think anybody who spends their time talking about politics on the internet is just a grifter. Or they're just miserable. There's better things to think about. Like fruit. And video games. And nature. Fish. There's so many things in the world that are so much more interesting than politics. I think people who enjoy talking about politics are genuinely, they just enjoy getting angry. You know? Why is there rustling? Oh? Hi, oh thanks.